This segment of the Chopin podcast is brought to you by the Chopin Foundation of the United States, dedicated to promoting young American pianists and making Chopin's music accessible to all. A couple years ago, I created a video with pianist and soprano Chelsea Guo for the Tone Bass Piano YouTube channel, in which I challenged her to sing some of Chopin's melodies. The fare was mostly nocturnes, but we did manage to sneak a mazurka in there. Hearing a melody like this one, sung as an abstract vocalese, really drove home just how painfully beautiful Chopin's melodies are, and reminded me that the piano, for all its hyper-coloratura potential and superhuman range, can only ever aspire to realize the power of the human voice. If only more Chopin could actually be sung, I thought. That's when Chelsea introduced me to a whole collection of Chopin mazurkas that had been set to text in the 19th century by Chopin's friend Pauline Viardot. After hearing some of Viardot's Chopin in Chelsea's voice, it became clear to me that the two of us needed to reconvene for some more Chopin singing and to explore these masterful arrangements more deeply. Given how stubborn and protective of his music Chopin might seem, it actually came as a surprise to me that he permitted certain musicians he respected to create arrangements of his own music. And most notably with 19th century singer, composer, and pianist Pauline Viardot, whose collection of songs based on Chopin mazurkas are one of the most unsung treasures of the piano vocal repertoire. And I can't imagine a better person to join me in exploring this amazing music than concert pianist and soprano, but not a composer yet.
Not a composer. No,
Chelsea Guo, the modern day Viardot. Chelsea Viar-Guo. She's been making a name for herself touring around on both instruments, her piano and her larynx. That includes sometimes both at once, including a set of Chopin-Viardot mazurka arrangements in which she plays the tricky piano part and the vocal part at the same time. Chelsea, how does it feel to be a freak of nature?
It feels fun. It's delightful. It's so much fun to do what I do.
I wanted to start by sharing with you a book cover.
Ooh!
A book of letters between George Sand, that would be Chopin's lover, and Pauline Viardot between 1839 and 1849, the year of Chopin's death.
Right.
And it's fun because inside of these letters, we can find playful exchanges between Sand and Viardot in which they refer to Chopin as nicknames like Chip and Chip and Chopinette and other diminutives. So clearly they had a lot of affection for him and probably enjoyed making fun of him. I don't know much about Pauline Viardot or her relationship with Chopin. He must have trusted her, must have respected her. They must have been friends on some level if he let her take his music and do what she did with it. Chelsea, can you tell us about your history with Pauline Viardot, what you know about her and the origins of this really amazing music?
Well, yeah, I think she was an incredible figure that honestly doesn't get talked about enough. She was so heavy in opera. A lot of composers dedicated operas to her. I believe Rossini dedicated an opera to her. Cezanne wrote an opera with her in mind. Samson and Delilah, actually, and Dalilah had wanted her to sing the title role, which she didn't do. But basically, she was like a huge opera figure in Paris, but born of Spanish descent, but really French in most regards in her career. But she was also a pianist, and that's how Chopin knew her. He met her through George Sand, and their friendship kind of kindled because Chopin and Viardot would play piano duets together all the time. So again, met as a pianist and not as a singer. And she also became really good friends with a lot of other pianists like Liszt. So super cool. She was like overlapping two worlds at once, the very essential figure in the opera world and a central figure in the piano world, and overlapping working with both to compose. So she was super, super cool.
That's a cool life.
That's a cool life.
I would go back and live that life.
I would love to go back and live that life. I mean, seriously, when she wrote these songs using Chopin's music, he didn't just give her permission to, take it and run with it. He sat with her and like coached her on how to compose and how to write with these melodies. And so it's nice to know that these are all not just Chopin allowed, but Chopin approved in a way. She's truly somebody who defied all boundaries and restrictions within what the musical industry kind of creates for us. So I respect her a whole lot, and she sounds like a really cool person, and I would like to be friends with her.
A couple of years ago, you entered the Young Concert Artist competition in New York and made the final round, ended up winning the whole thing. And unusually, you won it doing two things. Usually, musicians will pick one, or they only usually have one thing to do. You had two things to do, and here you are showing off, doing both at once in the final round, performing one of Pauline Viardot's Chopin Mazurka arrangements from the Opus 33, originally in D major. Chopin fans will recognize the Mazurka, but Viardot sets this to a text. And let's go ahead and listen first, and then you'll talk about it. Wow. So my first question, just from a pianist perspective, how are you managing both things at once? I mean, is this just autopilot down here? Did you learn the original Mazurka in the original key, or would that have just screwed you up? I mean, how did you make this work?
Yeah, so I competed with Opus 33, which is why this particular Mazurka, this was the first one I learned of the Viardot set. And in fact, that was my first performance ever of any of the songs, and I was trying it out, which was a risky thing to do in a finals of a competition, but it worked out okay. And I had a lot of fun doing it. What I've learned from singing and playing is that I have to learn everything separately. So I have to learn the vocal part as if I'm just singing it with a pianist, and I have to learn the piano part as if I'm playing it with a singer. And then when I put it together, it's like the piano part almost has to be on autopilot because frankly I can't hear it. I can hear like 10% of it, but my voice is pretty loud, especially my ear. And so it taught me a lot about trusting, which we talk about with performance anxiety in general, but you have to trust what you've practiced.
I wonder if this doesn't improbably make piano playing easier, actually sort of improve your technique as a pianist. Because one thing I've noticed as I've developed over time and gotten better at the piano is I need to relieve the tension in my jaw, in my mouth. I'm still
Mm.
somebody who Chelsea, I also sing when I play. Not quite like you. It's more of a kind of moaning, grunting, post-Gouldian mess of a thing, and I'm really trying to delete that when I perform. But nevertheless, I've noticed when I am able to control my breath and my voice and be calm here, it's an extension of the control I have over my body. And it started
Mm,
with hand independence, finger independence, and ultimately independence between all of the different parts of our body. And so you need that anyway as a pianist. And so
yeah.
like I guess this is one of those extra challenges, tell me if I'm wrong, that actually it probably helped you free up even more as a
Ah,
music.
100%. I think the biggest enemy of piano playing and performing piano and performing voice is overthinking. You get in your head. And there is no time or space to overthink when I'm doing this. And so, in a way, it feels very freeing, very liberating to just kind of just go for it. Because if you don't commit to it, it's not going to happen. And you just commit and you just trust the process, you trust what you've worked on. And it has taught me a lot.
It's really impressive. So what were you even singing about there? I mean, what does this mean? Love
Yeah.
me? What is the text? These are very flirtatious arrangements.
When I sing these songs, I think of salon. I think of true salon. I mean, I think of people holding champagne, maybe a little bit, like a lot bit drunk, and the big grand living rooms and drawing rooms with chandeliers and everything, and people are just sitting around enjoying. It's very light music. And again, I'm surprised that Chopin allowed his music to be turned into something so a little bit frivolous, honestly. But this is a silly little text, which is I think is really cute. It's by Louis Pommet, and it's just tell me to forget you, and I'll do it if you wish. But come on, like really, like we know that you want me, and like why are you? I throw myself on you, and you don't reject me. You still remember me, so why are you acting like you don't care? And then the middle section, he goes. This is actually supposed to be from, I guess, a man's perspective, but she goes, That's my favorite. He goes, "What? Are those tears? Oh, don't cry. Let's just forget it. Stop quarreling. Just love me. Just love me." And then you hear the addition that Chopin did not write in the middle, the la la las in the middle are very fun, and the screeching high note that comes at the very end, which I think is incredible range for a mezzo who wrote this is written really by a mezzo, probably for mezzos more so than sopranos, and there's still a high C sharp in there. So
That's what I was going to ask about, because sometimes you're actually singing Chopin's melodies, which she had already written, but somehow the
yeah,
text fits. How did she? I guess that was part of her creative, challenge, right?
yeah, I will say that these are not the most comfortable French songs to sing because the French doesn't always fit into this melody that is really distinctly not French. And so the language doesn't really like to flow into it, but I think she did a pretty dang good job with what she was given. A set text and a set melody. So,
So I want to turn to the first Chopin mazurka, already a genius, in his Opus 6, number one. Tell us about this arrangement that Pauline Viardot created for this particular piece. How close is it to the original? What does it mean? And maybe could you share a little bit with us?
this particular song is really sweet. I think it's one of the more sincere texts that she chose because it has that kind of longing quality to it. I mean, honestly, I cannot believe this is the first mazurka. It has everything that I think makes the mazurka so special. But there's like this real, like almost begging, desperate kind of quality to the introduction, at least. And I think she really plays on that. She calls this love's complaint. It's kind of dramatic. The text is, Dear soul, without you I die. My lips want to smile. And she sets this so geniusly because on the descending kind of sequence, the da 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 dum ba da da dum ba da da dum, she says, "My lips want to smile, but my eyes speak of my sadness." It's just like it's the harmony just fits so well. It's almost as if it was really written for this text. And then the middle section, she sings, "Tonight in a dream I believed I saw you, but suddenly the night is over and all hope flies away." And again, it ends really dramatically saying, "I want to smile, but alas, death is in my heart." That's really dramatic.
I'd love for you to share a little bit if you don't mind spinning around and playing a little bit and singing for us.
Okay. So we already have the incredible thing that I've talked about.
That is devastatingly beautiful.
Isn't that so gorgeous?
Oh
and
my
on those,
gosh.
like, the yearning. Again, it's the same thing. It's like my lips want to smile, and then on the major, it turns to but my eyes speak of my sadness. And then this is so good. My sadness. And then the middle section, which is super beautiful.
That's kind of my favorite one. I think it's my favorite one.
It's so good. It's so good. It really rips your heart out.
You have to make an album of this. This is what everyone's going to be saying in the comments. It has to happen. It has to
I would
happen. And then
love
they
to.
all need to be music videos.
Okay.
I'll
I'll do
produce
a
it.
music
I don't
video for
care. Wait, who's like? Why aren't there? There must be people like banging at your door to produce this album. No,
There are not.
what's wrong with this
let's
world? What happened to our culture? I'm gonna
It's so
do it.
cool. It's so cool,
It's
isn't
so
it?
amazing. Yeah, it's so beautiful.
And I mean, honestly, like, where did she find the text that perfectly fit these melodies and then literally fit them into the melodies and the expression and completely transforms them into something that you would never think when you just play it as an abstract work of piano music?
She clearly loved and knew the music like a composer and was so dedicated to it that yeah, these aren't flippant little arrangements. These are serious works.
Yeah,
So
they're they are songs that are worth their place in the song literature in them of themselves, basically. And at the same time, the mazurkas exist, and they are allowed to exist as separate pieces, I think.
let's turn to actually the next opus that he wrote, that he published, is Opus 7. And the first from Opus 7 is actually a popular little mazurka. I think I played it as a kid.
Yeah,
But Viardot arranged this one as a song. Is it called The Coquette?
the Coquette. Yeah.
Okay, so this is from Chopin's original Opus 7 number 1, Viardot's arrangement, The Coquette.
Toucher ton cœur, de n'aimer que toi, je donne ma foi, fille, gentille, mais ma fidèle, fille, gentille, ne peut toucher ton cœur. Si dans ton regard je suis libre, tu plais malgré toi mon voiture. Mais d'amour que je me ressais t'enduit d'un jour ou d'une heure. Je ne veux que toi, tu cherches pourquoi, coquette, et bien dis-moi comment, filette, coquette, comment faire autrement? Quand l'amour savait en nous se prendre, un veut d'abord lui résister, mais sa voix devient si tendre qu'un jour il faut l'écouter. Donc si tu m'en crois, accepte ma foi, cruelle, il ne se doit chemin, belle, cruelle, par qui saura t'aimer.
I love it. I love that a
I
lot.
love that one. It's so much fun. I mean, truly, I think what was so incredible is the different versions of the trill, or I guess it's a triplet at first, and then it turns into a trill that Viardot takes with the la la la, like all those little ornamentations. It's just so perfect. It's so well written. But yeah, basically, this is about a man singing to his beloved and saying, "You are such a flirt," basically. And if I've, like, there's this one line that I love. It says, "If I have learned to read your looks, you mourn in spite of yourself, my martyrdom. But of the love of which I die, it's a grief of a day or of an hour. And it's just so dramatic. It's like all about love and death.
And I love the little trip to the Orient, Tell us about that moment. What is the text there?
When love comes along to surprise us, at first we want to resist, but at some point the voice becomes so tender that one has to melt and one has to listen. And so he's saying, one day, just one day, you'll see what love really is, and then you'll turn off all the charm and stop playing me, basically.
This makes me really want to explore those George Sand Viardot correspondences, because obviously Sand is sort of famously a sort of androgynous figure in history.
Yeah.
Obviously went by a male pen name, but also just the way she dressed. She was eccentric, in Paris at the time. So I'm sure they had some very interesting conversations about these topics. Wouldn't be surprised. Okay, the second song in this set of two, and here you're singing Viardot's arrangement of Chopin's Opus 50, number 1, one of my favorite mazurkas. Let's listen and then we'll talk about it.
Okay.
La jeunesse, silence. Tout la main sans y fil, sans souci du lendemain, sous les chemins sans effet.
After all this, one might think that Chelsea's first and foremost a soprano. I don't know, maybe you consider yourself that, but I knew you first as a pianist. And I remember you from the 2021 Chopin competition, and you were a medalist in the 2020 National Chopin competition in Miami. Talk a little bit about that experience, what that meant for you as a pianist. You weren't singing there. That would have probably actually disqualified you.
Yeah, probably.
What did Miami mean just in, sort of furthering your journey and career as a pianist?
had a really good time. For me, more than anything, the Chopin competition was an opportunity, both of them, was an opportunity to prepare music that I really, really loved and gave me a platform to play it all. And honestly, that was what motivated me to want to get through to each next round. I'm not a very competitive person. I didn't have a whole lot of expectation or drive, honestly, or ambition to get anywhere, but I just really wanted to play the music. And so I'm really thankful that I got that chance.
What mazurkas did you play in Miami?
I played Opus 33.
Maybe we'll end by hearing Chelsea play a proper, originally composed Chopin mazurka from the U.S. national competition.
Sure.
Do you have a favorite one from that set that you'd like to share?
Definitely. Opus 33, number 4. Come on.
That's the great ballade of mazurkas.
Come on. It's the best one.
This episode is brought to you by the Chopin Foundation of the United States. Established by Lady Blanca Rosenstiel in 1977, the foundation has championed the music of Chopin and helped launch the careers of countless young American pianists for nearly a half-century. To support the Chopin Foundation, visit chopin.org/donate. If you enjoyed this video, consider joining my Patreon, where paying members have access to bonus scenes from my interview with Chelsea Guo and other guests from this episode.